Welcome to our channel. It is mid-July, and the soil beneath your crops is perfectly saturated with water. Yet, as the afternoon heat peaks, the plants suddenly stop growing, begin to stunt, and start dying. To understand why, we have to look inside the plant at a phenomenon called vascular collapse. Under the cohesion tension theory, water inside a plant behaves with the mechanical properties of a solid wire. The sun's energy pulls this moisture upward from the roots to the leaves, creating immense negative pressure within the xylem conduits. During a severe heat wave, that tension reaches extremes, up to 21 megapascals. A megapascal is a unit of pressure used to measure immense tensile strength and physical stress. The pressure inside the plant becomes so intense that the liquid water column physically, violently snaps. This creates an air bubble, or embolism, in an event known as cavitation. Once that internal pathway is severed, the entire transport system shuts down. The plant instantly loses its ability to move dissolved nutrients from the soil up into its living tissue. This internal explosion is triggered by an invisible atmospheric force, pulling the water out of the leaves harder than the roots can replace it. This gauge measures vapor pressure deficit, or VPD. VPD is the definitive measure of atmospheric thirst. When the reading crosses that 2.0 to 3.0 kilopascal threshold, the air becomes so dry it aggressively rips moisture directly from the leaves. To defend against this, plants rely on microscopic pores on their leaves called stomata. Long-standing agricultural theory suggested these pores close because the roots ran out of moisture in the soil. Recent experiments using specialized gas mixtures proved that assumption wrong. Stomata actually react directly to drops in ambient relative humidity, completely independent of how much water is available in the dirt. When the humidity plummets, it triggers a panic response. The plant actively synthesizes a stress hormone called ABA. ABA stands for Abscisic Acid, a biological compound that regulates stress responses and growth limits. This chemical signal forces the guard cells to rapidly deflate, sealing the microscopic pores shut to conserve water. By sealing itself off to save water, the plant cuts off its own carbon supply. Its own evolutionary survival mechanism becomes the very thing that starves it to death during a heat wave. Please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel a lot. When those stomata close, the upward pull of transpiration stops completely. The mass flow of sap grinds to a halt, cutting off the delivery of essential structural building blocks to the rest of the plant. Specifically, the delivery of calcium and potassium is blocked. Potassium is the critical element required to regulate the plant's internal hydraulic machinery, control cell turgor, and maintain basic cellular safety. Modern agriculturalists must find a way to bypass millions of years of hardwired plant evolution to stop this self-starvation while the sun is still blazing. The solution requires ignoring the soil entirely. Instead, growers focus on hacking the immediate microclimate immediately surrounding the canopy. Surviving a modern heat wave is a biophysical heist that requires tricking the plant's atmospheric sensors. Growers execute this through transpiration pull tactics. They use precision overhead misting systems to create brief, localized humidity spikes directly within the canopy. These artificial bursts of moisture trick the stomata into staying wide open. The plant maintains a robust flow of nutrient-rich sap, avoiding the risk of cavitation even during the hottest hours of the day. This aerial approach is paired with a subterranean tactic known as rhizosphere cooling. Engineers bury subsoil pipes to circulate chilled water, locking the root zone at a comfortable 25 degrees Celsius. This diagram shows a cross-section of the chilled root zone. Keeping the roots cool preserves a process called hydraulic lift. This allows the plant to act as its own pump, drawing deep moisture up to rehydrate the shallow soil layers overnight. By synchronizing overhead humidity spikes with precise subterranean cooling, growers weaponize the plant's own biology. They keep the internal hydraulic pump running at maximum efficiency. These biophysical tactics are put to the ultimate test during rapid onset weather events, particularly when hot, dry katabatic winds sweep across agricultural regions. Katabatic winds are dense, gravity-driven winds that forcefully carry hot, arid air down mountain slopes and into valleys. We see this destructive desiccation during the 120 km/h Berg winds in South Africa, or the 161 km/h Santa Ana winds in California. In these conditions, vapor pressure deficit spikes to lethal levels in a matter of minutes. When these violent atmospheric shifts occur, immediately deploying convective cooling to blunt the wind's thirst is the only way to prevent mass vascular failure across an entire orchard. As we enter a period of severe climate extremes, a plant's vascular limit is a dynamic physical system that we can engineer for survival. Thanks for watching. This content does not constitute medical advice, legal advice, or recommendations for the use, self-treatment, or consumption of any substance.